This is the #1 NBA podcast in the world.
Obviously, I love the game of basketball.
With Greg Poehler.
Mama, there goes that man.
And we're back. Is that how we do these?
Yeah.
These intros?
Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of the #1 NBA podcast in the world.
Yeah.
My name is Greg Poehler. I'm here, as always, with my producer, Jonathan Rollins. I'm actually regretting that we didn't go with, like, hoops. There it is.
I would not sign on to that.
Or hoops. I did it again.
That's better.
I guess.
That's more fitting for your personality.
It's been, we wanted to wait, as we said last time, until the first round was over.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Huh.
You weren't listening to last episode? Checked out? Well, we're back.
I thought we didn't come back because Boston lost.
Okay. Well,
You
John
seem
is
motivated.
somehow claiming victory based on one victory by the Miami Heat in the first round. A sad showing by the Heat and their fans. Celtics still on pace to be the best team of all time.
How?
16-1. That doesn't do it for you?
No. You said
Really?
16-0, and that would do it because they don't have the roster to be.
Well, if Jimmy Butler played that series, it would have been a sweep
Okay.
because they would have taken it more seriously, is my theory.
Okay.
No, tough loss for the Celtics, but I think it will be the only blip on the way to their title this year, even with Porzingis out. So much basketball happened in the past week and a half, and let's just get right into it. First narrative, I think, we're a show about narratives, and right now it's the Anthony Edwards show.
Yeah, man.
He is taking
My new
off.
favorite player.
He's everyone's favorite player now.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't a hot take, but not since Jordan, not since the 1900s, have I seen someone actually be as Jordan-like as he's being right now. And a lot of people say Kobe, but Kobe stunk, man.
Early on, and he had Shaq and all that. Yeah.
Kobe just is the most overrated player, I think, in the NBA, in the annals of NBA history. We can discuss that later.
In the race part?
In race relations. He's no Larry Bird.
He's no Larry Bird.
No, I mean, that's very cool. I mean, Anthony Edwards, we all thought maybe a couple years away, but it seems like his time is now.
Yeah,
and
man.
He's someone that I think the NBA also needs in terms of, like, star power. I mean, because Jokic isn't getting it done. Embiid, all the stars right now are not really connecting on a beyond basketball sense, but he seems to have it. Whatever it is. And I think maybe we're overreacting to one game. I know we did that last series. I think the last time we were here when the Bucks were up 1-0 against the Pacers, I was like, man, I love those Pacers, but I guess they don't have it. So I'm trying not to do that again. But narrative number one definitely is Anthony Edwards. And I mean, he's 22 years old, one year older than I guess Jordan was in his rookie year, if I'm right about that. I think Jordan 85, 86 was 22. When he was scoring 60. I was at that game, by the way.
When he put up 63?
Yeah, 63.
You said 60.
Yeah, I'm 60 plus. Look at you, fact check. You got it written down there.
I remember that,
63.
man. I have all Celtics blunders right here on the spreadsheet.
The funny thing about that game is that this was back in, again, 86. They didn't even really have it on the score. Like, so we were at the game and nobody knew how many points he had.
Oh.
Like, they didn't even post that stuff. So I remember being at the game with my dad and people being like, see, how many is he? He's got a lot, right? Like 45, 50. Like we even went home. It was an overtime game. And we went home that night. I remember looking the next morning in the newspaper, like 63. Wow. I wish I had known he had that many.
Did people look up at the scoreboard?
There was like an old-fashioned scoreboard there. And
like on the wall?
Yeah, and sometimes they would flash like points, but usually only for the home team.
Oh. Wow.
So that's
Tell me more about the good old days, Greg.
we kept score by ourselves. We held up the score so the teams knew how many points each team had scored. Narrative number two, I think, in the first round, is Jalen Brunson, who went off, like, again, speaking of the 80s, Bernard King back in 1984, at Knicks Celtics series, had a few games where he scored, I think, 40 in a row, three or four games in a row. And Jalen Brunson, I didn't think he had this gear, but he's doing it. He's doing it all by himself.
Yeah, I watched him. Yeah,
and I have a little bit of a Jalen Brunson story, or Rick Brunson story, who's his dad, that I wanted to run by. But first, I told you there's a video of Rick Brunson when Jalen Brunson was, 10 years old, that made the rounds a few months ago, of him training his son. And I just wanted to take a look and see what you think about it.
Tired is for the weak. Mentally strong. Go.
Brunson, three-pointer. Bang! Rear high now. 50 points for Jalen.
As one of Jalen Brunson's coaches, kept with his job, but when Jalen Brunson hit the three to make it 50, the dad part came in. He was so proud.
Harder. Good. Jog back. Go. Go get the ball. I'm going to throw it to the fence if you don't jog back. Here we go. Go. Good. Follow through.
Left-handed?
Go back. Jog back. Up through the legs.
The kid does not want to do this.
Good.
Oh.
Go back.
What
Jog
is he?
back.
You sure it's not Jalen Brown?
Go.
Nice.
Keep your head up. You might have to take another dribble. Go.
What's he trying to do? Get from the half court to the free throw?
Good.
I don't know
Left
this.
to right.
Okay.
The kid is pouting the whole way.
Not hard enough.
Not hard enough.
Better. Better. Hold the follow through though. Come on, here we go. Come on, let's go.
Come on, Jay. Concentrate, Jay. Concentrate.
You need mom there too.
Follow through. Everything you do has to be legit.
All right, we can stop it there.
Habits.
Now, this made the rounds.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough.
No follow through, not fast enough.
Man.
Now, what's your first thought when you see something like that?
No wonder he's in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people posted that as like, now that's just good parenting. Look, he's staying. He's being hard on him, but he's also being encouraging, and I kind of get that angle. But for me, it's like, for every guy that makes it to the NBA, there's 2,000 dads that are yelling at their kids, making them do stuff they don't want to do, and their kids just totally resent them for it. And there's no. I will say that.
Well, we're only getting a piece of it.
You think that he was much nicer when the cameras weren't rolling?
No, I'm saying when off the court. Like, if he steps into that role on the court, that's one thing. But then when you're at home and, I don't know, watching TV or like doing something, doing homework and stuff, if you probably take a different. I would hope he takes a different attitude, approach.
Like what people do, what I realize now, having kids and having kids in sports is I would say the vast majority of kids who excel at a very high level usually have a parent like that.
Yeah.
There's one parent that's kind of making them do stuff that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid in that video, I see that kid in that video, he
Yeah.
doesn't want to do that. And I mean, in the story after the fact is like, no, he wanted it. He wanted it too. But you see that kid in that video, and he's just like rolling his eyes at his dad, like, geez, we're outside. We could be inside. He was coaching at the time at Virginia. He could have been inside in the gym. Instead, he's out in the hot, summer sun, trying to teach his kid a lesson. And I mean, that's what you have to do to kind of raise a pro basketball. And you talk about these 10,000 hours people always talk about.
Malcolm
and
Gladwell.
kids are not going to do that themselves. Generally,
right.
I'm sure there are exceptions, of kids who loved the sport and the parents had nothing to do with it. But for the most part, you do need to be that type of parent. And I mean, for me, for my own kids, like my daughter now is 10, 11, and is very good at basketball. And I have moments where I'm like, I maybe should be out there like doing that, with her like left again. But then I think she would kind of grow up to resent me, regardless of even if she makes it. And I have a good friend.
How's their relationship now?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay. Sorry to step on you.
No.
Friend.
I have a good friend who, I don't want to say the sport because then it'll give away who it is, but he was ranked number 1 in the world in a very, in a big sport, made millions of dollars.
Federer. I know about your relationship.
The right sport, actually.
Oh, really? I should have known.
But he resents his father for like how he brought him up. They moved to Florida when he was young to this Nick Bollettieri camp, and
damn.
Even though it set him up for life and he won, Grand Slams and made a ton of money and it kind of, set him up for life, he still, I think, when I've talked to him about it, he still is like, I wouldn't do it over again.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not sure if that's the same with Brunson, but I don't know. That's the trade-off you have to make. I think if you want to raise a pro athlete, is you're risking that second part of your life where there is that, I can't believe you made me do that. And like I said, one out of every 1,000 kids that are getting coached like that are making it big. Right. All that sets up the fact that Rick Brunson, the dad in that video, I played against in high school. Here's why I have such resentment to the man that I'm finally getting to the story. He played for Salem High School. He was a senior. I was a sophomore. And he scored, I believe, 47 points against me in high school.
You guarded him?
A little bit. I was a sophomore. He was a senior. And I was like, he was like 6'3", and I was like 5'3" at the time. I mean, it was way before I was just barely 15.
And you were like, I'm not giving him any water.
And I was like,
I don't care how thirsty he gets.
It was like Van Gundy hanging onto his legs. But my takeaway from that day, I remember him being like a dick. I don't remember exactly what he was doing, but like it was, my takeaway was like, this guy's an asshole.
You sure it's not your Boston upbringing?
It could be that too. But he's from there too. By the way, he was Eric Brunson back then. He somehow changed to Rick when he went to college. So he went to Temple, became a pro, played for the Knicks, played for a bunch of teams, and then became, obviously coached his son, and then in 2014, when his son was, one of the top recruits and was. His dad, Rick Brunson, got hired or was about to be hired by Temple University, his old school, as the coach in order to bring his son along. And that was the plan, I think, for Temple. It's like, we'll hire the dad and then the son will come. Yeah. Unfortunately, after he signed or was about to sign with Temple, he got arrested for sexually assaulting a masseuse in Chicago, outside of Chicago.
Oh, he Watsoned it, huh?
It's a weird story because it's not like a, it's not like a Bob Kraft, it
wasn't
shady
like an actual
thing. It was like a lifetime athlete. Like it seemed like a real legit place. And the woman would claim that he, did all sorts of stuff to her. And his defense was like, no, this was a consensual relationship. I'm just having an affair. Okay. He was found not guilty of that, but that took a while. And so his son went to Villanova instead. No dad excelled. First round draft pick, I believe, maybe early second. Cut to 2022. I missed one. 2018. His dad is the assistant coach for the Timberwolves.
Okay.
And has to resign because 3 or 4 women say that he's been a little handsy, a little grabby, a little sexually assaulty.
Oh man.
So he's out of the league until 2022, when his son is about to be a free agent. And the New York Knicks overlook the history of sexual assault and hire Rick Brunson to be on their bench as an assistant coach a few weeks before his son signs with them. So now in all these games, he's there on the bench, cheering for his son, crying as we saw in that thing when he scores 50 points, and not a mention of the assaulty background.
Should they mention it, you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'm mentioning it. I guess just to get back.
You thought it was a dick in high school, though.
I guess just to get back at him for my 47. I'm the only one that's talking about it. But I'd like some more context. I think maybe they should bring it up in the.
It became personal with me.
Oh, that's nice. That was a good job.
That was you.
But all that aside, the fact that to have your dad on the bench.
Yeah,
it feels weird to me. I feel like it's almost an extension of that video we just saw.
Yeah,
where he's like, he's saying the same things in the huddle, like follow through. So I don't know. It's working for Brunson so far.
Yeah, he's balling.
He's having a hell of a series. My God, is he taking it to the next level? So that's storyline number 2, I would say. The storyline number 3. all the these legends are out. LeBron out.
Is it a passing of the torch playoffs?
It seems like that way. Definitely for Anthony Edwards. The Suns out, the Clippers out. We talked a bit about that in the first episode about how these were make or break series for those teams, and it's a big break. And then that's the worst kind of limbo to be in, is to have a team, an old team, with no real, there's no real chance for them. They pretty much have to bring back their teams, I think, unless they want to totally blow it up.
Yeah.
Suns have to bring everybody back. Clippers have to bring everybody back. Lakers have to just kind of run it back next year, I think.
Suns, man, no draft pick. No first round pick till like 2031 or something.
None of these teams have. They all gave up, the farm for their big guns. So I think the Clippers are even going to like re-sign Kawhi. They've already re-signed Kawhi. They're going to re-sign Paul George and Harden, and just bring it back next year, I think.
That's terrible.
But for the teams that are left, I just wanted to go through and give my predictions. Maybe you can give yours, and we can see who has the better basketball knowledge.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. You might bring up my past.
But Celtic, I mean, are you satisfied with your Heat one victory?
I was satisfied with my Heat one victory only because it made you look really dumb, man. Like right away.
Come on.
You were talking.
Is there much of a difference between 16-0 and 16-1?
They're not gonna go 16-1, man. What are you talking? You can't still be on this.
I don't see why not. They do have the most talented starting five in NBA history. Did I tell you this?
You said that too, yeah.
One of them, unfortunately, is gone with Porzingis getting injured. So we're down to, and then there were four, plus Horford.
You can't really be on this. What's their real record going to be? For real?
I honestly believe
that they won't lose another game.
Yes. Like, I'm not, this isn't a bit. I legit believe they're going to go 16-1. And here's why. This is the 2024 is the year of the team.
Man, did this dude just did this? Is this real?
We had the UConn Huskies win the title with not really many star players. They were just a good solid team. On the women's side, you had the South Carolina team taking out that one woman show, Caitlin Clark, in the finals. Team 2024 is the year of the team, and this Celtic team, I think, is better than every other team.
Better than the Denver team.
I think so.
With this coach too.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Although Denver, I think, is in trouble. I mean, as we're filming this, they're down 1-0 to Anthony Edwards. I still think they're a good bet now, because now actually the Timberwolves are favored in the series. So if you wanted to jump on Denver, now's the time to do it.
So what's your picks?
Well, I mean, let's take a step back.
Okay.
Right? First, if we're starting the best players in the playoffs so far, if you were starting from scratch now, and you could take any player you wanted, who would you start with? Who would you be your number one pick?
Joker.
Yeah, obviously Jokic. Yeah. Probably still over Edwards, although Edwards is making a case for himself, right?
Oh yeah, but Joker's another level, man.
Jokic, I would go. By the way, I was watching the Inside the NBA, the Barkley guys. I don't think those guys know his real name. They all say the Joker. Every time they if I was on that panel, I would just say to Barkley, like, what is that guy's real name, by the way? And I'm pretty sure he would be Nikolai.
Well, you got to call the man name. Call the man.
So I would say Jokic 1, Edwards 2, 3 probably still Luka.
Dang, you haven't named any Celtics yet.
This is my point.
You said still Luka.
I think so. Oh, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, and then I would probably go Brunson, although you could say Brunson over Luka right now because Luka's a little injured. But I think most teams, if they were starting right now, would take Doncic third. I would think it would be Brunson 4 and probably Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from OKC 5. I think that would be the consensus. Okay. Notice you're right. There's no Celtics on the list, no Jason Tatum on that list.
No, you don't need them.
And we don't need it.
No,
that's
you
the
got
thing.
A team. Full team.
We get a team. We get the TEAM is how it's spelled. And so that's I'm hoping that this is the one year where you don't need to have the best player in a series. You don't need to have the best player in the playoffs. The sum of the whole greater than the individual parts.
Okay.
Have I said that enough?
You said it enough.
I'm still on a high from this Tom Brady roast that I just watched, which was much better than I anticipated.
Yeah. When I saw it was 3 hours, I was like, oof. And live? But
I mean, obviously the athletes were pretty bad, but I was kind of shocked.
we're gonna talk about this.
Just quickly.
Okay.
What, you want to talk about for an hour?
No, go ahead.
I just feel bad on roasts in general. You've done a lot of roasts, right?
No, not a lot. I've watched a lot of roasts.
Huh? I thought you've done a bunch here.
Oh, I had that. I had a roast thing, but I didn't roast that much. I was the host. I hosted a roast series. Yeah.
So they didn't go after you at all.
Sometimes they would, but I didn't come back at them.
I did one like real roast, and I kind of prepared all my stuff, and then about halfway through, I was like, "Oh shit, they're gonna roast me!" Like I forgot that they gotta do everybody on the dais, and I didn't like it at all.
Oh no, I did do it. It wasn't like that though. I did a one-on-one roast, like a roast battle. I roasted my friend, comedian here, Daniel Sanchez, and we went hard. But we're good friends already. So
I was on like a panel, and I was, I don't know, fourth or fifth to go, and I kind of forgot that everyone's gonna like go down the line.
Were they lighting you up before you went out?
Yeah. I was like, "Jeez." And I didn't have much for them. Shit, I had like one throwaway thing because I thought we were gonna go quick, but people were kind of spending a lot of time on me. So I didn't like it, and I felt that way a little bit for Brady when Kevin Hart started. They were just going real hard at him.
He was setting the mood in the room though. It's hard to not look at it as but.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I was thinking of like his kids watching that though, and being like, "Ooh, boy,"
He can make them feel better. Just a little kiss on the lips.
And I haven't.
Did anybody go at that?
No, isn't that funny?
What?
Yeah, I didn't see.
Man, I would have.
I'm not done with it yet, but I think I didn't hear any of that. And the weirdest thing of all, not as far as I know, I'm not done with it yet, but not a single Bob Kraft happy ending joke.
There was one.
There
Jeff
was.
Ross.
But at the beginning?
Brady walked up and said, "Don't fucking say that again."
Really? Is that the beginning of the thing?
At the beginning, Jeff Ross was the first one.
Yeah, I didn't hear
and
it.
He comes out and he said, he talked about Bob Kraft and massage and all that stuff.
I missed it.
But Brady walks up to him and says, "Don't fucking say that again." I don't know if he was joking or what. And then,
I would think that would have been on everybody's list of things. That's why I thought that maybe.
I was surprised he was there.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't on the stage, maybe to avoid that.
Oh yeah,
he was in the audience.
Well,
so
yeah, they were getting that. Yeah, they were going after the audience. From what I saw, I love roasts, so it's fun.
Yeah. All right. So Celtics, Cavs. All right. We can all agree Celtics in 4. Right? Sweep.
I say 4-1.
4-1. You just to screw me again.
But yeah, we can see. I can see it if it's a sweep.
Cavs Orlando just ended last night. And the old saying that a series doesn't start until the home team loses. Well, the home team never lost, so I guess that series has not started. So they got to start it over again. That'd be great if they're like little known rule. We actually
got to keep playing. Game 8 tomorrow.
We're gonna play until the visiting team wins. Yeah, I always thought about that whenever they said that rule. It's like, not technically, you don't really need to. That was kind of a series. I only saw games 6 and 7 of that series. Orlando seemed about a year away. Cavs were another team that if they had lost that game, they would have probably had to blow everything up, and Donovan Mitchell probably plays somewhere else next year. I still think he's likely to go somewhere else next year. Not a huge fan of Max Strus, who's a bit of a Celtic killer, especially with the Heat. So I'm not thrilled in seeing him, but Celtics, if they want to go down as the greatest team in NBA history, they're going to have to sweep aside the Cleveland Cavaliers. We can both agree on that.
If they want to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you agree that if they lose one, that they're not the best team ever?
Is 16-2, is that not the best? I'd like to know. I should have done more research on what the
Isn't it 15-1 or something like that?
15?
16-1? Wasn't that Bulls team tried to go? It was 15, yeah, because it was back when there was only 3 games and it was a 5-game series first round.
If only there were a way to look that up.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. I'm
failing. I'm failing as a.
That feels like a lot to me. But if that's true, then that's the record. That's kind of a bummer for my 16-1 prediction then.
Warriors 16-1
Really? When in 2017?
That's the 70. The one squad. Yeah.
In 17?
Yep. 16-17.
Okay,
Warriors.
so the Celtics are on pace to be the second best team in NBA history at 16-1. Maybe
you
if they
think
do it
that
in
Warriors team
maybe
is
if they
the
do a
best
more
team?
convincing well, obviously the 16-1.
That doesn't make you the best team, best playoff team.
Yeah, but they won like 70 games that year too, didn't they?
That was the year that because they lost the whole thing that year. They burned themselves out trying to get that 72 win thing.
No, I meant the next year with Durant, and they win like 67 games or something. Regardless, Celtics in 4. You were saying Celtics in 5?
Yes, I was just trolling.
Okay. Knicks Pacers, another one that I kind of don't see much of a. I can't really find a way for the Pacers to be competitive in this series, to be honest.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, I like the Pacers. Obviously, I liked them a lot more a couple weeks ago, and somehow they've beaten the Bucks, and now I'm down on them for whatever reason. But Halliburton seems to be playing better. Siakam's nice. I just think the Knicks have it going on, and I other than Anthony Edwards, I think the New York basketball renaissance is certainly the story of round one. The Garden is jumping again. Ben Stiller, every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Right? Chris Rock.
They're all getting their FaceTime. And, the Knicks are looking tough. I think, they're going to get swept eventually by the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But up until then,
man,
I think...
I'm going to vomit.
I'm going to say Knicks in either 5 or 6. I'm going to say Knicks in 6.
Man, the West is way more fun.
What do you say?
Yeah, Knicks in 6 sounds good.
Okay, lock it in.
Yeah, let's lock it in. Knicks in 6.
Number 1 OKC is taking on
Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas Mavericks, number 4, are they? This is kind of a great matchup, actually. It's young versus old. OKC. Now, weirdly in the West, you could make the argument that Denver was the least impressive team in the first round. Mm-hmm. I mean, they only lost 1 game, but they were down 10 points in every game to the Lakers.
Good point.
And the other teams kind of rolled. Mavericks had a bit of a hiccup against the Clippers, but this is a pretty even matchup according to the odds. I tend to favor old versus young because I'm old. So I tend to root for old versus young. So I think Mavericks win this in 7. Who do you like in this?
I think the Thunder win it in 7.
I can go either way on this.
This one is the best. Most
at the beginning of the playoffs, I had the Mavericks in the finals, beating the Nuggets, and I'm going to stick with that. Kyrie is playing maybe the best he's ever played.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And you know how much I hate that guy, but he is playing so well that he's forcing even people like me to respect and to root for him in a way. This was the type of basketball that we dreamed of when he joined the Celtics back in the day, and he's delivering finally, kind of drama-free, which is nice. So I get the Mavericks there. I still think the Nuggets are going to pull it out over Minnesota, just because I refuse to believe that Anthony Edwards can keep this Superman act up.
Yeah.
But if he does, like I said, the league is now his. I mean, if he even makes it to the finals, I think he's the next big superstar. He might even be it now, even if they lose this series.
He will. He is it.
I just mean on a larger scale, like in terms of getting the general public involved and interested. Denver, like I said, they're now an underdog in this matchup. So if you want to bet on them, now is the time. So I think Denver in 7 in this. They have the last game at home. But by the time like this airs, Minnesota could be up 2-0.
This is going to air tomorrow. It's going to come out soon. So we'll be all right.
I think they play tonight, game 2.
We'll put it out right away.
So yeah, I think the Knicks and the Celtics are pretty sure things. I would be really surprised if either one of those teams lost. The other 2 series, I think all 4 teams have a chance. And on the betting side, I just made some bets this morning, just in the interest of full disclosure.
That's what the listeners want.
I bet the teams that I just mentioned, the Knicks, Nuggets, Celtics, Mavericks, all to win the series. And you get that around 6.5 to 1 right now. So I put 1,000 on that for 6,500 payout. And just to cover my bases, because I was thinking, what if all the favorites win? Right now, the Timberwolves are the favorite because they won Game 1. And so I did a second bet with all favorites with Timberwolves, Thunder, Celtics, Knicks. And that still gets you around 4.5 to 1. So those would be my, one of those, if you're interested in series wins and making some money, I think one of those is going to come through. And yeah, that's the outlook for the Eastern and Western Conference semifinals.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sounds good, man. I feel like you're trying to make your road to a championship easier.
By
taking the Nuggets out.
Definitely. Yeah. I told you that. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for
That's what we're looking for? Speak for yourself,
you said
man.
in the first series, you also root for the teams you root for. You want the easiest possible champions.
Yeah, I do. Oh, you meant we as in Celtics fans?
Not we as sports fans.
Okay, we don't want.
Yeah, I'm rooting for some injuries. I'm rooting for Edwards to have some sort of concussion.
Concussion.
Something like that. So yeah, I think that's. I mean, is there anything else basketball-wise you want to get off your chest?
No, man.
Before we move to race relations.
Are we doing something race relations? I got nothing to get off my chest, man. This podcast is for you to get stuff off your chest.
I love the look on your face whenever I bring up the race relations.
I mean, it's fun to have a black friend.
All right. So in the race relations segment, have you? I don't know if you just did a podcast. I don't know if you discussed this. Did you see the Ole Miss? It was I guess.
Oh, the guy.
Some sort of protests.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Palestinian Israel. It probably was.
Yeah.
And then that frat dude is like, and the black woman is there, and he's giving like the monkey sounds. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
I thought when I saw this yesterday. I think it just happened maybe 2 days ago.
Maybe more.
When I saw it, I went to Twitter. It's probably one of the worst places to go. But I thought for sure this would be the one thing that everyone could unanimously be saying, like, all right, this guy's an asshole / racist.
Were there people saying he wasn't?
Dude, there is an incredible amount of people who are defending this kid.
How so?
This is why I bring it up. It's so unbelievably depressing to me that there's nothing now that can happen, almost nothing, where everyone can be like, okay, maybe that person is on my side technically on something, but I can agree in this instance.
No, there was the George Floyd murder.
You think everybody was in agreement about that?
Yeah,
probably. I don't know if everybody was. I don't know if everybody was, but at least everybody publicly was in that sense.
No, there were some people that might have said he was on. He died a different way.
Yeah,
but they weren't saying it was good that the cop had his knee on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this
there's some things that we all can be like, come on.
I don't even know nowadays. I feel like this.
Yeah, you're right though. I'm definitely not going to disagree with you on that. I was just trying to think of one thing.
Yeah,
that was the thing that came to mind.
It just made me so depressed because here were the lists of defenses that I saw yesterday.
Okay.
Number one, a bunch of people posted a picture like, look at her. Well, she's giving the finger to him. Like, she's the one who provoked it. It's like, all right. I mean, even if that, I mean, fine. But obviously there's a line too far. The monkey sounds kind of supersedes anything that she's doing, really. Or like this person was calling him a white trash, whatever, just something like.
Yeah.
And then there was one defense, and this seems to be picking up steam, that he wasn't actually making monkey noises. It was pig noise, and she was being a pig, and he was doing like pig type stuff.
She was an overweight woman as well.
Yeah, so that fits into that theory.
Right, I'm saying but it's not. She was being a pig. He's making fun of her weight.
So I don't know what's going to happen to this kid. I mean, and the same thing happened with that, that Sandman guy, or whatever. The dude that ended up winning a bunch of money, for libel for these news organizations. When he was, remember the Native American guy was in his face and he was staring him down. Yeah. That guy ended up cashing in. So a lot of people online yesterday also being like, this guy's going to be rich. And not only is he not going to get kicked out of college, but he's going to sue and somehow win money off of his monkey sounds.
That's going to encourage people to be
more racist.
Publicly racist. Jeez.
And then have this innocent explanation for it afterwards.
Yeah.
But it feels like the monkey sound thing. Like, is that for me? That feels like a 100-year-old trope almost. That
they're throwing bananas on the field and stuff out here.
Yeah. So I mean, in the soccer sense, international soccer sense, you hear that a lot. Like there's games that are being shut down because like people and the fans are doing it. Here in Europe, haven't really heard it that much in the U.S.
Because we progressed in our racism.
Yeah, maybe not though. This dude's
I mean, he's bringing it back. It's throwback racism. Did he give her the old "go back to your country"?
Yeah, the old classic.
Yeah, that's what I hear more. I'm like, come on, man.
But how do you feel as a black man about like the monkey thing? Is it like because for me it feels like it's almost so classically old that it doesn't have the same almost effect. It's almost so racist that it's beyond.
What we want is the consensus that you were looking for
everyone to say
this is wrong.
This
guy's wrong. Of course, there's bad actors out there, and we just want them to be held accountable.
Yeah,
we don't. It's not like we're out here. We hate all the police. We want the racist ones to get in trouble when they do racist shit.
Yeah,
or not even just racist, but just bad people to get in trouble when they do bad shit. But sometimes when you do bad shit to certain people, you don't get in trouble for it, and that's what we're tired of. That's all. Seems like a simple thing to ask for.
Yeah, well,
it's not even that deep or heavy. It's just accountability.
Well, good luck because it doesn't seem to be happening.
No.
I think that kid won't even get kicked out of campus now at this point. I feel like he's somehow now hit the. And the funny thing about it is like the right now in the U.S. don't want to get political really at all, but it seems
you seem to do it every episode.
But it seems like the right now is Israel and Russia somehow. They're on the Israel-Russia team, and the left is Ukraine-Palestine.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I put 1,000 on both Israel and Ukraine to kind of go against the grain. So 4-1, I got odds on that. So that's the third bet I made this morning. Kind of crossing party lines.
Oh man.
There. No, but it's sad to me, especially the Russian thing. Reagan in the 80s was the most anti-Russian guy there is, and now somehow the right is all into that, but. Yeah, just because I think this guy was on whatever's, was rooting for Israel or was on the right side of those protests for whoever was defending him, people are working backwards now and trying to
justify it. Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Like I don't have a problem seeing flaws in people on my side of arguments. Like I feel like you can do that, man. Like
it also helps your argument because then you realize, okay, like I mean, in the political spectrum, we should all be able to agree. That Trump is an idiot, like he's a moron. Even if you like him, you should at least be like, okay, but he's stupid, he's dumb, but I think he's funny, or I think he gets stuff done. And we should all be able to agree that Biden is old and senile. I mean, that for people to argue those points for me is like you're losing credibility right away. And this, I thought, again, was going to be a one of those consensus points, but it's sad.
Not now, man.
All right. I thought you'd have more to say on that, to be honest.
What more you want me to say? I don't know what else to say, man. I told you what we want in those situations. That's what we want. I don't know. I didn't. When I saw it, the sad thing is I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
It feels like that's the one button that they think certain people think they can push.
I guess
it'll get a reaction.
I just don't. For me, that's what was surprising about it. Is I felt it was so like that is so. Yeah. I don't even think it's like a racist move. It's so old fashioned. I know it is, but it's not. I mean, it is a racist move, but I didn't even think it was like a go-to. I felt it was so. Yeah. It was so.
Like, what happened to the N-word?
Exactly.
Just throw out an old hard R.
Right. It's a lot easier.
Come on, man.
And also the fact that he's doing it on camera is.
He knew he was on camera?
I don't know, but I mean, if you're doing it in a public place like that, you're running the risk of it being on camera. Anyway, bring it back to basketball. Who do you think the most racist coach left in the NBA?
I don't know. Everything when it comes to racists, it's got to go be Boston.
Maybe Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, that's why he sits with his back to the door.
Wow. I saw Joe Mazzulla and Jason Tatum at the Bruins Game 7. I'm not sure how big hockey fans they are.
This thing was hard.
What is that?
When you got hard, when you saw.
I always love seeing that, the cross promotional. When players or coaches are like, "Yeah, we're totally into what is this again? Hockey."
Sleeping at the baseball game.
Yeah, standing at the wrong times, just trying to show their Boston roots. But Bruins won Game 7 against the Maple Leafs, so we do have the chance of the double championship. It's still alive in Boston, and I'm sure you would love that.
Oh yeah, I really much love that.
Your Miami Heat, back to the drawing board. What's the plan to try to recruit someone to come to the?
Seems like that's always the plan. We still have the best coach in the league,
yeah.
So hopefully they can get the right players with them. I don't know. I sit back and watch and then root for my team. I'm a kind of basic fan, man.
Who's your if the players that I think will be available next year will potentially Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, who's the third? Booker is. Those are the big names that are potentially moving. It'll take a lot to get them, but
yeah, that's not Miami style.
You don't think any of those are potential Heats? If you could choose one,
Mitchell would be the one I would want.
Really? Because he's such a big time.
Just thinking
player.
of what we need. Like we need somebody who can run the point.
Yeah, he's a big time player. There is a chance.
He can score too, man.
Now that I know
him and Jimmy Butler together.
Are we sure Jimmy Butler's not incredibly overrated?
Yes. Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
The interesting thing about Tatum, one last thing before we go, is Tatum used to be, I think, a little bit overrated, but now I get the sense that he might be a little underrated. That even I am not discussing him as one of the top 5 players left in the playoffs. He's averaging something like 20-11-5 or something, 22-11-5 in the 5 games, distributing a lot more, rebounding a lot more, not trying to do as much, playing within himself. He still hasn't had one of those big games like Mitchell had a 50-piece. Mm-hmm. Brunson's been going off. Anthony Edwards, of course. But, if he does have a couple of those games in the next series, I think he might be back in the conversation, especially with Porzingis out. Porzingis being out is manageable, I think, for this next round. Yeah. And maybe even against the Knicks. I think they could probably get through the Knicks without him. But if Minnesota or Denver awaits in the finals, they get some beefy guys.
Got to throw some bodies at him.
And they're going to need him. So hopefully Porzingis will be back. We will see you guys next time. I'm pretty sure all my predictions will be exact. If you want to win some money, I would suggest just doing exactly as I say, including that Israel Ukraine. Can you bet on that?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
I don't want to find out.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can though.
The question would be, well, I guess,
what's considered? Yeah, exactly. And then you'd be arguing at the damn bookie.
All right. Thanks to you guys for listening. We'll see you probably at the end of the next round too. There's no sense doing this during it. Things change so much during the things that we don't have much to say, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm just here to document the 16-1 Boston Celtics road to the championship, which I'm now told. Did you say they were 15-1 or 16-1?
16-1 was
the other team. Will tie a record as the co-best team of all time. We still have that alive going into round 2. So thanks for watching. Cue the music. Do we have some music?
We have music. It's
all
playing right now.
Thanks, guys.
Later.